building an indie business in the center of venture capital. I am Alex Edmonds. People on the internet call me Supreme Rumham, and this is a Building an Indie Business podcast recorded in the Indie Business Studio. Alright, so I mentioned in an episode that I would like to do a sales approach for my Shopify apps. And I happen to find to be subscribed to this one marketing newsletter. And in the newsletter, they were sponsored by this AI sales software. So I'm going to try it out. And so I wanted to talk about, sales. I want to talk about why I struggle with it, how I plan to approach it this time, what I need to do, and a few other things. So I have always known that sales has been important. There's marketing, there's sales, there's SEO, there's other ways to get customers that I can't think of right now. But sales, I've always known is important, but I really it sucks, right? And mostly my struggle has been basically all of it. Look, for sales, you have to find people to gather their information, see if they're the right fit. You have to then write an email to them. You have to send it to them. Then you have to have a conversation with them. My whole thing is I don't know how to find customers, one, or find people's information to then go email them. And then the writing of the email is find that initial contact, that first contact. Writing the email would be fine. Sending it, I'd have a problem because I'm like, oh, am I sending it at the right time? And then the rejection, I also have a problem with the rejection. But through email, it's just they won't respond. So, but if you're finding the right people, because that's the other thing is yeah, I know how to find people. I just don't know how to find the right people. So if this AI software finds the right people, then all I really need to do is write the initial email for the AI to then send to them, right? And with the Shopify app specifically, it makes it a little easier to me that I have a clear audience now, right? It's not just oh, this product's for everyone or everyone interested in finance. No, I have a little niche that I can go and talk to and they will be more receptive. So, for example, I have an app that displays how much money a customer needs to spend to get to free shipping. So that rolls out anyone selling a digital product. So that means it's for people on Shopify who have physical products to sell. Right there, that's a tiny niche right there. Not tiny, but it's a good amount of people, right? So I can just find people that have Shopify store that sell physical products and say, hey, I have this product that'll help you sell more, right? And then I'm like, oh, you spend this much money and you will make this much money if you increase your lifetime value of your customer, right? So it's a little easier to explain to people, and that's where I am relieved about it, and I'm very interested in trying AI sales software. And this also eliminates the need to be spending the time sending the actual emails and responding to them. I really hate that first email. The positive response, I'm like, okay, I can handle that, but pushing out that email and the AI software will probably know when to send it, so it'll do that for me. It'll handle all of this. I would need to write the email myself, but that's not difficult because I know how to write the email clearly because I just basically rambled something off the top of my head that I could actually use. I can also just steal stuff from Google. So like people will have sales templates that they're selling or they have for free to get people to sign up for their email list. So I'll use one of those. But I'm struggling with the approach. I have multiple apps and I am unsure if I should pitch all 7 apps at once. I know I shouldn't pitch one at a time because that'd be 7 different emails to people, right? And it's the same people. Well, assuming that like my first app applies to the second app, like the same audience, right? Because if I have a digital product app and then a physical product app, then I don't need to, be emailing the same people. So that's something I have to consider, right? Yeah, that would be too many emails. I think the best idea I have right now is selling them one app. Being like, oh, hey, I have this one app that you might be able to use. And if you like this app, you might also like my other 6 apps. I really have to do a deep dive into the specific audiences of the apps and find out what I can do there. Yeah. So I just looked at the pricing of the software and it's $750 a month and it's like you get 1,000 emails, all the features and integrations. 700, it's like 75 cents an email. So what I can do is I can, again, like I've been wanting to do all year, is treat the podcast like a product and say, hey, I have this podcast, and if you give me a discount or a customizable price that I can afford, I can do an episode of your software on my podcast, do like a dedicated walkthrough, and that way, I'm still paying for it. I'm paying for what I need. They're getting promotions which might be even more valuable to them than just one customer, right? Because as I treat this podcast like a product, that might lead to more people listening, and then boom, they make more money from other people, right? And apparently, what you can do is you can email the companies and be like, hey, I can afford this, or like, can you give me a discount? And keep in mind, it doesn't say anything about discounts, but they will give it to me. Because also it's software, dude. Like, for, let's say, email software, it doesn't cost them more money to suddenly host 101 emails, right? It's the same price. You know what I mean? So, like, how email software charges by how many contacts you have, and it goes from like $7.99 for 100 emails stored, and then it's like $55.99 for 101 emails. Their expenses don't go up from 100 to 101, so there's wiggle room right there. That's a little difficult with AI to determine because it's all the GPUs and stuff, but still I think the same principle applies. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna email them. I'm gonna write the email myself. I'm gonna mention the podcast. Maybe mention how many downloads I get a month. No, I'm not. It's not that impressive. But yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try sales. Yeah. So that's part of the marketing that I plan to do for all my new apps. So, yeah, that's all I have for this episode. When I start using the software, I will do a demo of it right? And then when I get some results from it, I will do an episode on that. So I'll have maybe 2 more sales episodes and maybe a walkthrough, if they give me a discount. Yeah, that's all I have for this episode. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.